We're back. You're listening to Hawaii's very own computer talk show. Q&A presents Maui Online, thanks to our sponsors, Inter Island Software, where Maui's frontline technicians get their parts and sound advice, and by Q&A Inc., Maui's freelance technical support company. Our number here in the studio locally is 242-7800, and statewide you can get in on the conversation toll-free at 1-866-982-7800. And now back to the show.
And we do have to mention our contest.
Yes, we do.
We have a contest thanks to the good fellows over at Office Max who gave us a D-Link wireless and network camera, the DCS 930L.
Nifty.
This basically is a camera that you connect it to your router, and once you've connected to your router, it gets all the information it needs and becomes a wireless, and you can set it up pretty much anywhere. And once it's enabled, you can have peace of mind by being able to look at whatever the camera's looking at from anywhere on the net.
How much peace of mind I would have if I happened to look in on my house and seeing it filled with people ripping me off.
So you just pointed at your fish tank.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's a good idea.
Actually, I saw the old fish cam that someone else is doing that now.
There's a bunch of those.
Yeah. So, but anyway, you can
actually you can do your own if you win our contest and get your own camera.
And also, there are now apps available on both Android and iPhone that will let you see what the camera is seeing right on your own little portable device.
So no matter where you go or what you do, you can look in on your house.
Yes, and so
check it out.
Usually retails for about $99, but can be yours for the price of an email. Just drop us an email to mauionline@q-a.net with a question, a comment, a note saying hello, an idea for a show topic or something you'd like us to talk about. We have the ones that come in and say, give me. We had several people who wrote in saying how happy we were that we're back in our original time slot.
We're happy too.
Yeah, so
we're happy that they're happy.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, and thanks for the nice emails. But mauionline@q-a.net, and we're having the drawing sometime probably in October.
Okay.
I think it's October 16th, but I don't have the date in front of me.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't make a difference how many times you actually go in. You will only be entered once. And so you can write me 537 questions, as people have, but I will only enter you.
And those questions are very important because they're a massive part of the show.
Yes.
We build a lot of the show on those questions that come in via the email.
And we'll be doing our viewer mail show, and that's when we usually announce our winner.
Mm-hmm.
So besides that, another thing you could write us about is our newsletter. If you want to get in on our newsletter with nifty money-saving coupons and also finding out what the heck we're going to be talking about, you'll know as much as we do.
As I said, that's how I found out what we were going to be doing today. I read the newsletter.
Yep, you can actually get on that newsletter on the left side of our main webpage, which you can visit at www.q-a.net, and that is our webpage there. And you can also sign up for our newsletter down the lower left side. You'll see a constant contact link that you can actually click in, and don't worry, we won't send you any spam, promise.
Yes, cross our hearts
and actually,
all of that.
Okay.
We've got a caller.
Actually, we do have a caller right now.
Let's see if we can take a call.
Let's take a call.
All right, we'll get the call right now. This is Jonathan at Q&A. Q&A presents Maui Online. What's your name and what's your question?
My name's Tim, and my question is that I had an idea for a business that I wanted to do.
Okay.
And that every time I would ask about the technology that would be needed, I would be told, no, can't be done, can't be done, can't be done. But basically, what you're talking about with that camera sounds like it can be done.
Okay.
And basically, I wanted to be able to have a remote camera that would show on the internet in real time what the camera was seeing.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is doing.
Okay.
So web cameras exist. It used to be a lot more difficult.
You used to have a dedicated cable connecting it, but now with the wireless stuff, you can actually have a remote camera that wirelessly broadcasts to a local network, which then feeds it up to an internet feed.
Yeah, and so usually the things that you need is that what the D-Link does is the D-Link, you sign up for an account with them, and essentially you are piping out to D-Link, and then D-Link can either pipe it out to a web page or pipe it out to somewhere else. But essentially, you're counting on D-Link's connection. But as long as you've got broadband and a wireless connection, it should work just fine. Getting these things and even testing it for your idea wouldn't be that big a deal. I mean, it wouldn't be that much of a problem.
They're retailing, I think, around $89.99.
So,
but isn't that the info that comes from the camera and wirelessly goes to the thing? Isn't that too much info to have it happen in real time?
No.
Not anymore. It's also the camera limits the size and amount of video that's going through, so it's not going to be, you know, an HD super high resolution feed, but it is actually going to be able to broadcast an actual streaming video live from the camera.
And it's not going to be shaky either, you know.
It depends really on the bandwidth. I've seen them where essentially you're getting frame rates, only in the 11s or the 14s or something like that, as opposed to full real time. But if you have enough bandwidth, it will be more than happy to take it up doing that. And as the bandwidth increases, so does the performance of the camera.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's certainly worth trying.
Okay, with regard to the Firefox thing, why can't they start with? I mean, maybe it makes too much sense, but why can't they start with saying, okay, it's like with a car. You say, okay, it's going to use unleaded gasoline. Okay, now we got to build the whole car around that. Why make it so complicated that each version might have the sites look different?
It is kind of interesting that they're not standardized.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't everyone all agree that, okay,
right?
Well, with this and then everything else you can mess with?
Even your example with cars, they're not standardized. You can't take Toyota parts and put them into a Ford engine, for example.
Yeah,
and each company wants to be their own little proprietary thing.
Yeah, and understand also that they've just essentially came out with HTML5, which is the new standard language. But the amount of arguing that went into that standardization literally took like 4 years. It was a crazy argument. There's so many people with so many big pieces of the pie, trying to make them all agree on anything is actually pretty. The wireless standard's another example.
Just like the Wi-Fi standardization process, that took years too.
Yeah. So until and Microsoft always wanted to do things their way. Even at the beginning, when Netscape was saying we want HTML to be this way, no one ever came out with they came out with rough standardization. But as Ben will attest, you'd write a web page that looked great in Internet Explorer, looked completely different on Mozilla. So I don't see that changing, unfortunately, anytime soon.
Okay. We the users suffer.
As usual.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right.
242-7800, 1-866-982-7800 are the numbers to call. This is Q&A Presents Maui Online. Time for us to take a quick break. This hour is being brought to you by Q&A Inc., Maui's freelance technical support company, and by Inter-Island Software and Computers, where Maui's frontline technicians get their parts and sound advice. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with more Q&A Presents Maui Online.